the president's private zoo, when the White House had deer and a crocodile. In the early 1900s, the White House was not the strictly formal, security-locked building we know today. Under President Theodore Roosevelt, it was more like a mix between a family home, a political hub, and a miniature zoo. Most Americans remember Roosevelt as the rough-riding hero of the Spanish-American War or the man who built the Panama Canal, but few know that he was also an unapologetic animal lover, and not in a small way. His collection of pets went far beyond dogs and cats. He filled the White House lawns and corridors with an astonishing variety of creatures: a badger named Josiah, a blue macaw, guinea pigs, a pig, a lizard, a one-legged rooster, and yes, deer. The deer, gifted to him by friends from Yellowstone, roamed the White House grounds freely. Imagine walking past the Executive Mansion in 1905 and seeing a graceful buck trotting across the south lawn, tail flicking in the Washington sunlight. Visitors often mistook them for local wildlife, until a uniformed guard would explain, "No, sir, those are the president's deer." But Roosevelt didn't stop at deer. One of his most surprising pets was a young crocodile given to his son Archie. This crocodile spent part of its time in the White House Conservatory until it grew too big and had to be relocated. There are even unconfirmed stories from Roosevelt's staff that Archie occasionally let the croc roam the bathtub, just to shock the maids. Why did Roosevelt keep such a menagerie? Partly because he loved nature and believed children should grow up around animals. Partly because he thought the White House should feel alive, not like a cold government museum. When foreign dignitaries visited, they were sometimes greeted not only by Roosevelt's booming voice, but by the sight of deer grazing in the garden or a parrot squawking from a perch. Some guests found it charming. Others, well, they wrote about it in very confused letters back home. The Roosevelt Zoo eventually became too big to manage. Many animals were donated to the National Zoo in Washington, where their descendants might still live today. But for a brief, magical period in history, the White House wasn't just a seat of power, it was a wild, living ark of species, watched over by the most adventurous president America ever had. And if you'd been lucky enough to stroll past in 1906, you might have caught the unforgettable sight of a deer nibbling flowers under the shadow of the American flag.